What is going on, y'all? Gamers Goon here today with your NBA mock draft video for the Chicago Bulls. We are only going to be focusing on the Bulls, and we almost had a scenario like the Desmond Bane situation about a week ago where we started filming and Kevin Durant got traded. Kevin Durant just got traded to the Rockets. Jalen Green in that deal, Dylan Brooks, a first-round pick. Not sure if it's going to be updated on here, but we're not trading up with them, so I guess it doesn't really matter for me. Let's get into it. And if you guys didn't see my post earlier today, I left like one of those text posts on the YouTube channel. I will be live streaming the game tonight. I will be live streaming the NBA Finals tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Rooting for the Pacers. Obviously, you know I'm a Bulls fan, but wow. Dylan Harper going number 1 is wild. Wild. Auto pick needs to hurry up. I'm not going to lie. Cooper Flag going 2. There you go. Auto pick a little slow. And I actually did film this video just before this, but my computer crashed, so we're giving it a second go around. So we'll see. I don't know what is wrong with my laptop at the moment, but it's okay. Let me cancel. Okay, wait. Next up is the 5th pick. I thought auto pick. Yeah, this one's an auto pick, right? I thought it said Trey Jones or Trey Johnson. We were going to trade up for Ace Bailey at 5. Whatever. They kept him at 5. We don't want to move up if Ace Bailey's not an option. We might actually look to move down in this draft if Ace Bailey's not an option. We might trade up for Ace Bailey in this draft, but if that does not present itself, we could trade down. At least if I'm the manager. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. So we'll see what presents itself here in this mock draft. The last one, I actually walked away with Sorber, Cedric Coward, and Cam Jones. We traded down. Kasper Shakashonis was the guy that the Nets traded up with in our situation on the crash. But it crashed as I was giving the outro. So now we're doing another mock draft. Let's see what the Blazers do. Blazers do Yegor Dimon. Good for me. I don't want Yegor Dimon. Carter Bryant was not an option for us. He actually went to that Suns pick up at 10, which I know shows up as a Rockets pick, but he would have been going to the Suns. And that's a dangerous game to be playing. Because if I'm the GM here, I'm really looking at Sorber. I'm looking at Asa Newell. I'm even considering Danny Wolf. And then I'm talking Cedric Coward. I like Fleming. I like Clifford. But those aren't guys I'm really considering here. And I look at, hey, you got a guy here in Carter Bryant. A lot of people think could be really good. The Bulls are a team that is super likely to take him, I feel like. I think they've brought him in for a workout now. Him and Yegor Dimon, 2 guys I don't necessarily want the Bulls to select. They're in for workouts. Not to say that the Bulls are 100% taking them, but they're in for workouts. You know what? I'm going to do the exact same thing I did last time. I'm going to still trade down with the Nets. Still moving down to the Nets. I'm going to do the exact same trade, 26 and 19 for 12. Don't know if that'll be the exact package. Cam Johnson is potentially a trade candidate as well. Don't know if the Bulls would be interested in bringing him back, but I do think he would be an interesting fit on this team. Derek Queen is who they traded up for. Wow, I thought it was going to be Carter Bryant. Maybe Carter Bryant's going to be sitting there at 19 for us. I'd be a little shocked. Spurs should just take Carter Bryant at this point. High upside, yeah. High upside player. I just worry about kind of the offensive game there. Joan Berringer, a guy I don't think we'll see his name this high, but the Thunder have some time to wait with some of these prospects. Will Riley, a guy I was interested in. Not going to be the case here. 2 more picks. Asa Newell off the board is big news for us because he was one of our options. So it's here between Sorber and Wolf, and it's going to end up being Wolf, which I'm not upset about because I do like the player. I think you have a big playmaking center here in Wolf. And then I would be potentially looking for Rasheer Fleming with that next pick, a little bit more defensive weapon-minded. Cedric Coward's also an interesting option. And I don't think Cedric Coward will make it there to 26. In the last mock draft he did. I think just out of the interest of like trying to make this as realistic as possible, we're going to take Cedric Coward here. I don't think he'll fall outside the top 20. But you're getting your 3-and-D guy here, and you might wait a little bit longer, see if a Fleming or Wolf presents themselves to you later on in this draft class. Or you might have to take one of the swings with so it ain't going to be Wolf. You might have to take one of the swings with like a Kalkbrenner or a Maxime Reynaud, which I don't think is out of the realm of possibility for a team like the Bulls, just looking for a big man depth. Nate Clifford, a guy I really like, just not a guy here that I think we could really fit in to the team, unless, obviously, we went like the Danny Wolf situation at 19. There's no Cedric Coward, then if at 26 Nate Clifford's there, then it makes sense. I don't think he's the first player you take, though. So we get to 26. Rasheer Fleming's on the board. He was kind of looked at as that next guy that we'd be interested in. We have our wing in Cedric Coward. Rasheer Fleming, I get it. Him and Modest will be playing kind of some back and forth, small forward, power forward. But Rasheer Fleming, I don't know if you could run. He'll be able to run some small ball 5. Wow. Because I would love for Rasheer Fleming to be on this team. I really would. But then you look at the centers. They get real slim. And it just might be a case where the Bulls just don't really find the good value at that center position. Rasheer Fleming could play some small ball 5. Don't know if you want him to be your long-term 5. We're going to take Rasheer Fleming simply because I like his two-way ability, good defender, good scorer, could shoot the ball pretty well. I think he's a guy that if you do miss out and you're willing to gamble on, hey, we'll call their bluff on Sorber and Asa Newell, and we like those guys, but we really can't separate them. We like Fleming. Fleming's probably going to be the one out of that group to slide because of his age. He is a junior. I'm okay taking him. I like the player here in Rasheer Fleming. If you walk out Cedric Coward, Rasheer Fleming, I'll be happy. Like I said, not what we got in the last mock draft, but I'd still be happy with this scenario as well. So, let's get to 45, where I don't think Yannick Conan Niederhauser is going to make it there. Drake Powell is a guy that the Bulls have already brought in, potential guy there as well. You're looking at the big men. I would like a Johnny Broome potentially. Hanson Yang's interesting. I don't necessarily think he gives you what you're looking for, but I do think he could be kind of one of those dart throws at that center position. Because really at this center position, the guy I'm kind of looking for is a good defender. And if he's not a good defender, not to say Johnny Broome's a bad defender. I want one of those just tough guys. You ain't gonna just back me down easy. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna be grit and grind. I'm gonna make it hard on you. I'm gonna be able to put up some points. Doesn't necessarily need to have a 3-point shot at that position, but I think you just need one of those guys like a Johnny Broome, a tone setter at that position. At worst case scenario, if you can't go get a big time shot blocker or a big time offensive weapon, so. Let's hear if Johnny Broome falls to us. If he does, I'd be interested. Rocco Zakarski, another name that has been a little bit popular with people. I think he is a very raw prospect. I think he could have a similar career to, what was that guy's name that the Bulls had? We had that one guy that was, we had that center, man. What was that center's name? Marko Simonovic. Yeah, Marko Simonovic. I think he's similar. That Marco's only 25 now, and it seems like he's been off the team for some while. But it seemed like a guy that you were kind of just hoping would get there. Never got there. Not going to have that option. Vlad Golden, somebody I like. Going to be an interior threat there. Do I really want to wait? I don't know if it's a waste necessarily, but kind of the names he doesn't do anything great, right? I wouldn't necessarily say he does one thing super well either. He's just a solid player. He's tough. We went Fleming for some small ball 5. I do like Eric Dixon. Cedric Coward, obviously. I would be interested, and you could talk me into Ryan Nembhard, simply because I see how his brother is doing really, really well. And then Cam Jones just keeps coming to me, man. I know you don't address center if you do this, but Cam Jones at 45 to me is great value. You're looking at a guy that's been that guy for Marquette. Took a dip in efficiency this last season because he was the focal point, Cam Jones, but he put up good numbers. 48's not bad. Put up nearly 19, 20 a game-ish. But he's a scorer. He is a scorer through and through. Let's see if we can get a comparison. Karis LeVert, I don't like that comparison. I'm not going to lie, I do not like that comparison. But if you're getting Karis LeVert in the second round, yes. Malcolm Brogdon, I like. This is the one I said in the last in that video that you guys will never see because it got my computer crashed. I said, if you can go get a Cam Jones, this is what you're doing if you get a Cam Jones. You're either getting a guy like Jordan Clarkson, come off the bench, get you 10, 15 points. Or, if you look here, I don't necessarily mean this is going to happen. Say the Lonzo move goes through, the Javon Carter moves goes through, you sign Io, but Kobe's the one you can't find. You can't make contract demands. Kobe's going to want 30-ish million, probably. You can't get there. So, hypothetically, going into, not this season, next offseason, Josh Giddey's your point guard. Your backup there is, I don't know, because I think you trade Lonzo. Trey Jones won't be back. You go to the shooting guard. It's going to be Io or Cedric Coward or vice versa with Kevin Huerter as the backup. Dalen Terry won't be back. Small forward, you are going to have, you could put Io or Cedric Coward out there as well. And obviously you have Patrick Williams because you're not going to get off his contract. But you have no depth there necessarily. Power forward, you got Modest and Rasheer Fleming. One of them could play the small forward. Big man, you're really in a need here with Collins and Smith really being your two guys if that Vooch move goes through. I assume Vooch isn't on the team. We're gonna assume, hey, Kobe's not on the team. You're looking at this team and who's that scorer? Josh Giddey can be a scorer at times, but that's not really where he thrives. You're hoping Modest could become that, but really your guy that you lean on to score is Coby White. Coby White's contract comes up at the end of the next year. It is not a guarantee that he's coming back. You might trade him. You might not be able to meet his contract demands. We don't know that, though. There is 3 days. It is Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Draft is Wednesday. I guess this would be Thursday for the second round. There's no guarantees that Coby White is back next year. I want to plan for the worst. Cam Jones is planning for the worst. Because I look at Cam Jones as a guy that, yes, he could be our Jordan Clarkson. But I also look at him as a guy that a year or two down the line, he's already a senior. I know he could step into a role this season. He's already a senior. I think he's a guy that can build trust this year. And going into year two, there's a lot of hope of what he can be. The Bulls, if they do decide to move on from Coby White, could look at Cam Jones as somebody that could take up that scoring load. Because I do think he could be a really good scorer in the NBA. Is he going to be a 20-point-per-game scorer? I don't know. But if you're telling me that there is no world that Cam Jones could be a 15-point-per-game plus scorer in the NBA, I think you're crazy. He's a really good scorer. He was at the college level. I think you're getting a good bench scoring threat. And then that helps you because you don't have a guarantee with Coby White right now. You don't have him on contract 3, 4, 5 years down the line. But getting a guy like Cam Jones here, get him for a 2-3 year deal, whatever it is in the second round, gives you some flexibility there. If you really can't come to terms with Coby White, guess what? You have Cam Jones. I think that's a guy there that could fill in really well. So, and that also gives you kind of what you're looking for if you move on from a Vooch, right? You're going to need a couple more guys that can step up scoring-wise because you really think here in the first round, Cedric Coward, good defender, off-ball player, going to shoot threes. Not probably going to be a huge score, but could be maybe 12, 15 point per game range. Rasheer Fleming, really going to be good defensively. Probably not going to be a huge scorer, Might involve him a little bit on the offense, maybe in that 12 to 15 range. You're not looking at guys here that in Rasheer Fleming, Cedric Coward that are gonna, at least the way you're looking at it right now is you're not looking at those guys as guarantees to become good scorers. I'm banking on them for their two-way ability. I'm banking on Cedric Coward's shooting. I'm banking on Rasheer Fleming's defense. This is a true pick here at 45 that I'm banking on somebody's offense. I'm not banking on Cam Jones' defense. I am banking on the offensive production of Cam Jones. Somebody that I think does not get enough credit coming out of Marquette. One of the older players in this class. Unfortunately, we've seen it with Io. We've seen it with some of these older prospects. They don't necessarily get into that first round, but a guy I really like there in Cam Jones. So there we have it. That is the finish on the picks. There was a shift in the odds, though, for next year's champion. If you want to go pick the Rockets, I don't, but I guess if you do. And Amari Williams is another guy I really like, but just the way this draft fell, I just love Cam Jones in the second round. If you can do it, man. Especially if you're not going like a guaranteed offensive weapon here. I think taking a little bit of a gamble. And I think I said this in the same video that crashed. When I look at Cam Jones, he's somebody that I think could really succeed in Summer League. I mean, Summer League's right around the corner, right? I think you will look at this team in Summer League, and you will be most impressed with Cam Jones. Because I feel like he'll thrive in that environment where he can put up a lot of shots and be that guy. Whereas Cedric Coward, I think, is going to need a playmaker alongside him to get the best out of him. And then you have Rasheer Fleming, who I think is similar in that aspect and could really shine defensively. But I think if you're talking about who could really impress you on the offensive side, Cam Jones would be the standout of that Summer League team. And then you're looking at this team right here. Fleming, Coward, some maybe one, maybe all of these guys will spend some time in the G League. And I do imagine Cam Jones will spend some time in the G League, especially when you have Kobe, Io, Kevin Huerter, all these guys right now. Lonzo Ball, if he's back. But I'm planning for life after that, if that makes sense to some of you. So, thank you for watching. Let me know down below. Are you on team trade up, team trade down, team stick and pick? I don't know. Let me know. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you don't remember, I will be live tonight for the NBA Finals. We'll be starting about 20-30 minutes early, and we will be live streaming through the whole game. You will not be getting to see the game. No, you're not watching the game on my channel. I'm reacting to it. Just to make that clear. But we'll be live streaming during the game. So tune in if you want to. Come chat for a little bit. If you don't, no worries. We'll see you next time. But I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited for the draft. I'm excited for the finals tonight. Let's go for the Pacers. And thank you for watching. See you next time.